welcome back to another video. This one, we're going to continue on the 302 build. It's a 302 small block Ford, the one that came out of this Ford here. We did a teardown video on. Got it back from the machine shop. Actually had it back for a while now, but haven't had time to work on this one for a bit. Was finishing up this 408, along with a bunch of other stuff, obviously. But I want to explain a little bit of why it's important to bring your stuff to a machine shop, especially when you're doing a lot of modifications or you've maybe had your block overheat or something. But with this one, let's see, where do I want to start? The deck was warped. Maybe I can put a picture of it in here. We'll see if I can find that picture and I'll add it in here. But the deck was warped. It was out by 14 thousandths of an inch from front to back. So that's a lot. It was, yeah. And earlier they actually rebuilt this engine because it blew a head gasket. Good chance that's why. So deck was warped, but they're all trued up now. So that's good. This block, or these bores, they are bored 30 over. But I didn't have to get him to do any boring on the block this time around. We just swapped pistons out. So I'll show you those pistons yet, maybe in a different video, but I got a lot of parts, boxed the truck. Yeah, so it's bored 30 over. All he did was just hone it to match the piston rings that are going to be going in it, and just to make sure that our piston to cylinder wall clearance is correct. What else? The connecting rod big end had ARP bolts in it, but I guess the machine shop did not, the previous one, did not hone the big ends out to make sure that it was to spec or the right size, resizing them essentially. So that caused a problem. The motor had, I don't know, whatever it was, 30 miles since it was rebuilt, and the bearings in it, they just look like trash. There was scoring already and everything. So what I did is I actually checked the bearing clearance the way they were, and I had like a thousandth of an inch. Maybe, yeah, it was a thousandth, just over, barely on some. So very, very tight. You don't want to run it like that. So machine shop I brought it to, he helped me out, got it honed out to spec, and he doesn't just hone it and walk away. Like, he'll hone it, let it sit for a day, come back at it the next day so it's cooled down, right? Because you obviously have some thermal expansion. So he got that taken care of. So those big ends are all good. What else? He balanced the rotating assembly with the new pistons. And it appears that the other pistons that were on it, the rotating assembly did not get balanced at that point either. Because we actually went to, I think it was a lighter. I didn't actually compare the weights of the pistons yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a lighter piston. And it was still out 120 grams on the balance. Yeah, it's a lot. So we got the rotating assembly balanced. We got the rods honed or resized with the ARP bolts. We got the decks resurfaced on the block because one side was warped by 14 thou from one end to the other. What else? The rods were they were magnetized. They were magnetic. He could almost pick up the rod cap with the rod itself. It was crazy. So he demagnetized everything, made sure that was good. I'll be checking over grounds and stuff on this in the engine bay and on the engine and everything when I put it together. So we'll be good there. Yeah. I think that's enough rambling for now. I'll show you parts and stuff as we put this build together. But for now, what I'm going to start with is prepping for paint. The block is nice and clean. Yeah, so I'll tape it off and I'll prep it for paint. We'll get it painted. All right, as you saw, prep work is done. Let me show you what it looks like. One trick that I like to use, I've used in the past many times, is for your core plug holes, is actually just put Vaseline on there. I just coat the inside with Vaseline, make sure I try to be, as careful as you can on your first go, so you don't get any on the outside where you've already cleaned it. But then afterwards, you just want to go around and touch it up and make sure you got it all clean everywhere. Yeah. Once you paint it and it's ready to, you're ready to remove all your tape and everything, you just take a rag and you just wipe these out and a little brake clean, wipe them out one more time, and done. They're clean, and usually you get a really nice line around the edges. And if you're looking at the weld here, yeah, this block has been cracked and welded back on, but it looks like they actually did a pretty good job other than the layering and stuff. On the previous rebuild, you could tell the paint hadn't cracked or anything in that area, so that does tell me that it was holding up well. It wasn't shifting or moving around, so that's good. It is the next day. Had to let the block sit for a bit, let the paint cure. I mean, as much as it can without heat. But I peeled everything off, as you saw in the time lapse. But let me show you what we got. So I really enjoy having the paint as the first step. You can just get some nice clean lines everywhere, versus painting after it's built and just kind of paint over everything. Yeah, it just leaves, I don't know, for me it's just such a much nicer, cleaner look. And then when you do your core plugs, they shine, right? You don't have them all painted over. You see a little bit of, go and drop everything. So you see the liquid on there, it's not paint. That is from me spraying down the block to keep it oiled down. That's all that is. Yeah, I think it turned out real good. I know it's an interesting color for a Ford, but hey, he said dark red or black, and I had black on hand, so we went black. Hopefully he doesn't want to go back. Oh, wow, that was cheesy. So the steps I did, right back from the machine shop, it's already pretty clean, but I did have it oiled down a little bit. So just sprayed it down with some brake clean on the outside edges, wherever you want to paint. Make sure it's clean, dry, and then I taped off all the areas I didn't want paint on. Used newspaper to help. Then I used primer, engine enamel, whatever it is, primer. I did 3 coats of that, a light coat, medium coat, and then a heavy coat. And then I waited for 25 minutes or whatever it was, half hour, and then I hit it with the paint, and I did the same thing. I did light, medium, heavy, and then after that I did one last coat with whatever was left in the can. So, and yeah, I think it turned out great. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it there. We'll leave this off as a painting video. How to paint small block Ford. I don't know, we'll see what the title is. But hope you guys enjoyed this short and brief video, and take care. We'll see you on the next one.